If you're over 60 and want to escape the terrifying cycle of arterial plaque buildup, dangerous glucose spikes, and the looming threat of cardiac events, this powerful combination isn't optional. It's absolutely essential for your survival. Without it, your arteries continue to narrow at an alarming rate, while your pancreas struggles to manage the wild blood sugar fluctuations that silently damage your vital organs. It scrubs dangerous plaque from your artery walls, stabilizes your erratic glucose levels, reduces inflammatory markers, and restores proper metabolic function that you're losing with each passing year. No expensive prescription medications with their devastating side effects, no risky medical procedures that barely work, just 3 natural foods that could literally save your heart and pancreas from catastrophic failure. And wait until you hear about the shocking discovery researchers made about seniors who don't consume these cholesterol-lowering and blood sugar-regulating foods regularly. The arterial damage accumulates faster and spreads wider than anyone realized. Let's get started before another day of cardiovascular deterioration passes. And if you're finding this valuable already, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps more seniors discover this potentially life-saving information. Oatmeal, that humble breakfast food often overlooked by seniors, is a true powerhouse for cardiovascular health and a critical missing element in the diet of most American seniors who face increasingly dangerous cholesterol levels and glucose instability. It doesn't matter if you're just getting started on your wellness journey or have been prioritizing health for decades. There's always a way to fit this extraordinary food into your routine before it's too late. Basic oatmeal consumption is the foundation, perfect for anyone wanting to get into the rhythm, support their rapidly deteriorating cardiovascular system, and understand the benefits without complexity. Enhanced oatmeal combinations, on the other hand, push the body harder, activate more metabolic pathways, and deliver that fiber boost so many seniors desperately need when facing the frightening reality of age-related cardiovascular breakdown. One prepares and leads into the other. The basic version focuses on soluble fiber and essential nutrients. It works the arterial walls, cholesterol transport, and glucose regulation with gentle efficiency, countering the dangerous deterioration that happens with each passing day in those who ignore this remedy. The enhanced versions bring in complementary foods, hitting critical lipid profiles, compromise insulin sensitivity, and even inflammatory markers more intensely. Both have one thing in common: they deliver real results and help prevent the devastating cardiovascular spiral that can begin with something as simple as moderately elevated cholesterol or occasionally high blood sugar. From actually reducing your dependence on medication to finally regaining control over your health metrics, these small wins show the quiet impact of a powerful natural food that could mean the difference between cardiac survival and cardiovascular disaster. To start with oatmeal, it's important to understand what makes it so special and what makes its absence in your diet so concerning. Oatmeal contains remarkable beta-glucan fibers that actively bind to cholesterol in your digestive tract, which research shows becomes increasingly critical as your liver loses regulatory capacity at an accelerating rate after age 60. This might not sound immediately relevant to blood sugar, but groundbreaking research has repeatedly confirmed the critical cholesterol-glucose connection that most doctors never discuss with their patients. Elevated lipid profiles directly influence insulin resistance, creating a cascade of metabolic responses that becomes dramatically more dangerous with age. When your cholesterol levels are properly managed, your glucose metabolism functions more efficiently, providing the stable blood sugar that prevents the organ-damaging spikes and crashes so many seniors experience. That's why many seniors report dramatic improvements in not just cholesterol metrics, but also blood glucose stability after incorporating oatmeal into their daily routine, while those who don't continue to experience a frightening escalation in both heart disease risk factors and diabetic complications. But the benefits don't stop at cholesterol binding, and I'll reveal another shocking benefit shortly. First, you need to know that oatmeal contains essential nutrients, including extraordinary amounts of manganese, phosphorus, magnesium, copper, iron, zinc, and B vitamins, all critical for proper metabolic function and dangerously deficient in most senior diets. The soluble fiber in oatmeal slows glucose absorption, preventing the dangerous blood sugar spikes that directly damage blood vessels and vital organs with each occurrence. For seniors dealing with cardiovascular concerns and unstable blood sugar, major signs of compromised metabolic function, this is particularly valuable. Just 1 cup of properly prepared oatmeal daily can make the difference between accelerating arterial damage and actual cardiovascular protection. One key point: choose steel-cut or old-fashioned rolled oats, not the instant varieties with added sugars and reduced fiber content. Start with a half cup of dry oats prepared with water, preferably in the morning, to stabilize glucose throughout the day. Do this consistently for 3 to 4 weeks, and you'll begin to notice improvements in your energy levels, digestive regularity, and overall well-being that signal your cardiovascular system is finally getting the protection it desperately needs. And if you like what oatmeal can do on its own, hang tight, because what's coming next will supercharge those benefits. Ground flaxseed, nature's powerful lipid-regulating superfood that works synergistically with oatmeal in ways modern medicine is just beginning to understand. In fact, traditional cultures with the lowest rates of cardiovascular disease worldwide have documented this combination's remarkable effects on cardiac longevity, while America's seniors continue to face a frightening rise in heart disease. But before we reveal this second critical ingredient, if you're finding this information helpful, take a quick second to tap that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our upcoming videos on powerful natural remedies for seniors. You simply can't afford to miss what's coming next. Now let's dive into the amazing benefits of ground flaxseed, and why not having it mixed with your oatmeal could be accelerating your arterial deterioration while metabolic dysfunction continues to wreak havoc on your body. Ground flaxseed is, without exaggeration, one of the most important natural remedies for halting and potentially reversing the dangerous cardiovascular deterioration and glucose dysregulation that intensify with each passing year after 60. When used correctly, it becomes a kind of natural medicine for your increasingly vulnerable arteries, overloaded lipid metabolism, and weakening glucose regulation mechanisms. And the best part, you don't need any special preparation. With the help of simple ground flaxseed found in most grocery stores, anyone can get started before it's too late. The idea is, support your body's fat processing systems so you can protect what matters: the arterial integrity that prevents the frightening plaque buildup that comes with age-related cardiovascular decline, the insulin sensitivity that prevents the dangerous blood sugar spikes without adequate glucose control, and the anti-inflammatory protection that shields your already stressed vascular system from further inflammatory damage. If you're looking to halt the terrifying progression of cardiovascular disease, enhance natural glucose control, or simply experience the lipid stability that most of your peers have forgotten exists, this is a non-negotiable addition to your oatmeal regimen. Flaxseed activates powerful compounds including lignans and alpha-linolenic acid ALA that work in a deep controlled way to support cholesterol regulation pathways that weaken daily without this crucial food. But there's more, and this is where it gets truly alarming. It also contains one of nature's most effective sources of soluble fiber, which directly enhances the cholesterol binding capacity already present in your oatmeal. This enhanced binding effect directly accelerates the removal of dangerous LDL cholesterol that accumulates at an accelerating rate as we age. That means you're not only working to reduce current cholesterol levels, but also eliminating the lipid buildup that most seniors are accumulating at an accelerating rate due to weakened liver function and reduced bile production. You don't have to think of flaxseed as just a supplemental ingredient. You benefit from it every time you support critical fat metabolism, enhance bile acid secretion, or strengthen your glucose regulation against the constant assault of dietary carbohydrates. Mastering the use of ground flaxseed is key to both immediate lipid benefits and protection against the metabolic damage that causes unnecessary cardiovascular events for countless seniors each year. Ground flaxseed contains some of the highest concentrations of natural compounds that support heart health and glucose regulation, particularly omega-3 fatty acids that researchers were shocked to discover have direct anti-inflammatory effects on arterial tissues, but without the digestive distress that can come with fish oil supplements. Studies have shown that these plant-based omega-3s can significantly reduce inflammatory markers in the cardiovascular system, making them particularly valuable for seniors dealing with elevated cholesterol, triglycerides, and blood pressure that worsen dangerously with age. In fact, some research indicates that regular consumption of ground flaxseed can help maintain better arterial flexibility even as we age, while those who avoid it face a steady, frightening increase in arterial stiffness of up to 40% by age 70 compared to well-nourished individuals. But wait until you hear what happens when we combine these heart-saving foods with a third powerful ingredient. The results are nothing short of remarkable, and I'll share that shortly. First, you need to understand that for those with cardiovascular concerns, something that becomes critically common with age, ground flaxseed provides natural protection that could quite literally save your heart from premature failure. It's incredibly rich in lignans that directly influence cholesterol metabolism and help reduce dangerous lipid deposits in arterial walls. Many seniors find that improved lipid management leads to better energy, reduced medication needs, and even better cognitive function, since your brain requires proper circulation, while those without adequate cardiovascular protection struggle daily with symptoms they incorrectly attribute to just getting old. Ground flaxseed also contains compounds that help gently improve insulin sensitivity, ensuring that glucose is properly utilized by cells rather than lingering dangerously in the bloodstream, where it can damage vital tissues with each passing hour. To incorporate ground flaxseed effectively before it's too late, start with adding 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flaxseed to your daily oatmeal. The key phrase here is freshly ground. Whole flax seeds pass through your digestive system largely intact, providing minimal benefit, while pre-ground flaxseed can quickly oxidize and lose its potency if not stored properly. Invest in an inexpensive coffee grinder dedicated to flaxseed and grind just what you need for a few days at a time, storing the remainder in an airtight container in the refrigerator. If you're new to using flaxseed therapeutically, start with a teaspoon and gradually increase to the full tablespoon as your digestive system adjusts. The key is consistency. Daily use provides the most significant benefits, whether you're addressing current cardiovascular concerns or hoping to prevent the frightening arterial deterioration that comes from ignoring this crucial food. Now let's talk about the third crucial ingredient in this life-saving combination, cinnamon, and why its absence from your oatmeal and flaxseed could be leaving your glucose metabolism dangerously unregulated, while inflammation continues to destroy your arteries from within. Cinnamon, particularly the Ceylon variety, is, without question, one of the most powerful medicinal spices for enhancing glucose metabolism in an aging body that's increasingly prone to insulin resistance and dangerous blood sugar fluctuations. When incorporated correctly, cinnamon becomes a sophisticated glucose regulator for your increasingly confused insulin responses, deteriorating pancreatic function, and weakening cellular sensitivity to insulin. This isn't just a flavoring agent. It contains methyl hydroxychalcone polymer, MHCP, that essentially mimics insulin in your body, helping glucose enter cells properly, even when your natural insulin signaling is becoming compromised. This insulin-mimicking action is something no artificial sweetener can accomplish, and it's absolutely critical for seniors whose glucose regulation becomes increasingly erratic with age. The cinnamaldehyde in cinnamon has been extensively studied for its remarkable ability to reduce hemoglobin A1C levels, the long-term marker of blood sugar control that your doctor monitors. It's this consistent glucose regulation that makes cinnamon so valuable for seniors dealing with the paradoxical combination of energy crashes alongside damaging glucose elevations. Without this balanced regulation, your body either cannot properly utilize blood sugar for energy, or it allows glucose to remain elevated, causing microvascular damage throughout your body. A dangerous combination that worsens yearly after age 60. But there's more. Cinnamon also contains powerful polyphenol compounds that support cardiovascular health by helping to regulate cholesterol levels and reduce oxidative stress in blood vessels. This antioxidant protection ensures that the benefits from your oatmeal and flaxseed are maximized by reducing the oxidation of LDL cholesterol, because only oxidized LDL contributes to dangerous arterial plaque. It's this comprehensive, whole-body approach that makes cinnamon such an essential addition to the cholesterol-lowering and glucose-regulating power of your morning bowl. What's truly alarming is that most seniors are completely missing this metabolic regulating spice in their diet, leaving their body with no defense against the glucose spikes that occur with every meal, silently damaging their eyes, kidneys, nerves, and blood vessels with each passing day. Without proper glucose regulation, even the best cardiovascular approaches will ultimately fail as the body continues to sustain damage from elevated blood sugar. To incorporate cinnamon effectively before your metabolic function deteriorates further, add 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of high-quality Ceylon cinnamon to your oatmeal and flaxseed mixture. Ceylon cinnamon, often labeled as true cinnamon, contains lower levels of coumarin, a compound that can affect liver function in large amounts, compared to the more common cassia cinnamon. This makes it safer for daily consumption, particularly for seniors who may be taking multiple medications processed by the liver. Sprinkle it over your prepared oatmeal, or better yet, add it to the water before cooking to enhance its integration into the entire dish. Now here's where the real magic happens. When oatmeal, ground flaxseed, and cinnamon come together in one powerful morning bowl, this combination isn't just good, it's synergistic, meaning the benefits are far greater than what you'd get from consuming each food separately. And this is truly critical information that most Western doctors will never share with you. It's the kind of comprehensive metabolic support that traditional healing cultures have understood for centuries, which may explain why they enjoy dramatically lower rates of cardiovascular disease and diabetes that plague American seniors. When these three powerful foods are combined in one heart-saving bowl, you're addressing multiple aspects of rapidly declining cardiovascular health simultaneously. The beta-glucan fibers in oatmeal immediately go to work binding to cholesterol in your digestive tract, preventing its reabsorption into your bloodstream, where it can form dangerous arterial plaque. This cholesterol-binding activity then works with flaxseed's lignans to enhance bile acid production, further accelerating the removal of excess lipids from your body. Meanwhile, the cinnamon is regulating your glucose metabolism, ensuring that blood sugar is properly transported into cells rather than lingering in the bloodstream where it can glycate proteins and damage blood vessels. For seniors dealing with elevated cholesterol, unstable blood sugar, and cardiovascular concerns, conditions affecting millions of Americans over 60 and leading causes of disability and death, this combination offers a natural approach to address the root causes that most conventional treatments ignore until it's too late. Research has shown that the combination of soluble fiber with plant-based omega-3s and glucose-regulating compounds can significantly improve both lipid profiles and insulin sensitivity. When cinnamon's metabolic effects are added to oatmeal's cholesterol binding and flaxseed's anti-inflammatory benefits, you're not just suppressing symptoms temporarily, as drugs do, but actually addressing the underlying causes, poor lipid metabolism, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation, that worsen dangerously with each passing year. But here's something even more shocking that researchers discovered recently, and I'll reveal it in just a moment after explaining another critical benefit. This powerful trio also supports weight management in ways that isolated diet approaches simply cannot match. Many seniors struggle with dangerous abdominal fat, the type directly linked to cardiovascular disease and diabetes. The combination of soluble fiber, healthy fats, and glucose regulation provided by this morning bowl helps reduce this dangerous visceral fat while preserving crucial muscle mass. The benefits are particularly noticeable for those with stubborn, midsection weight that conventional diets fail to address effectively. Now for that shocking discovery I promised. A recent metabolic analysis found that seniors who consume this fiber-rich, omega-3 enhanced, glucose-regulating breakfast regularly had cardiovascular markers comparable to individuals 15 to 20 years younger. Meanwhile, those skipping breakfast or choosing refined, processed options showed metabolic deterioration consistent with accelerated aging. Think about that. Avoiding this simple morning ritual could essentially be aging your heart and pancreas to the level of someone 2 decades older than your chronological age. Can you really afford to ignore this information? Preparing this powerful combination is simpler than you might think, and I urge you not to wait another day. Start with 1/2 cup of steel-cut or old-fashioned rolled oats, Never instant varieties with added sugars. Cook with 1 cup of water until tender but not mushy. Stir in 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flaxseed and 1/2 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. If needed for palatability, add a small amount of fresh berries for natural sweetness, rather than sugar or artificial sweeteners, which can counteract the glucose-regulating benefits. Consume this heart-saving bowl within 30 minutes of waking to establish proper metabolic patterns for the entire day. For best results, consume this cholesterol-lowering and blood sugar-regulating combination consistently over time. The effects are cumulative, meaning the longer you maintain this practice, the more profound the benefits become. But remember, each day you delay is another day your cardiovascular system continues its potentially dangerous deterioration, accumulating arterial damage and metabolic dysfunction that become increasingly difficult to reverse. Now that you understand the powerful benefits of this oatmeal, flaxseed, and cinnamon combination for your cardiovascular health and blood sugar control, let's transition to how you can actually make this part of your daily routine before your arterial integrity and glucose regulation decline any further. If you're still with me and haven't yet clicked that like button, now would be a perfect time to do so. It really helps our channel reach more seniors who could benefit from this potentially life-saving information. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell immediately, so you'll be the first to know when we release new videos on natural health solutions specifically for seniors facing dangerous health declines. Making this powerful, heart-saving combination part of your morning routine doesn't have to be complicated, but it does need to happen soon. Let's break down the practical steps to ensure you get maximum benefits with minimum fuss before another day of cardiovascular deterioration passes without these critical nutrients. First, let's talk about selecting the right ingredients. And I'll reveal a shocking fact about grocery store oatmeal in just a moment. For oats, choose steel-cut or traditional rolled oats rather than quick cooking or instant varieties. Steel-cut oats provide the slowest glucose release and most sustained benefits, while instant oatmeal has been processed to cook quickly at the expense of its fiber integrity and glycemic impact. For flaxseed, always purchase whole seeds and grind them yourself in small batches, as pre-ground flaxseed quickly oxidizes and loses its beneficial omega-3 content. For cinnamon, seek out Ceylon or true cinnamon, rather than the more common cassia variety for safer long-term use, particularly for seniors with liver concerns. Now for that shocking fact I promised. Research shows that up to 2/3 of commonly available, heart-healthy labeled instant oatmeals contain added sugars, salt, and artificial ingredients that actually counteract many of the cardiovascular benefits while dramatically raising the glycemic impact. Many seniors are consuming these believing they're making a healthy choice, while unknowingly ingesting the very compounds that accelerate cardiovascular damage. To ensure maximum heart-protecting and glucose-regulating benefits, choose only plain, unflavored oats without any additives. Then add your own flaxseed and cinnamon for genuine health benefits. This one simple selection step could make the difference between real cardiovascular protection and minimal benefit. The basic recipe is straightforward. Combine 1/2 cup of steel-cut or old-fashioned rolled oats with 1 cup of water in a small pot. Bring to a boil, then reduce heat and simmer until desired consistency is reached, about 5 minutes for rolled oats, 20 to 30 minutes for steel-cut. Remove from heat and stir in 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flaxseed and 1/2 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. If desired, add a small handful of fresh berries or a teaspoon of unsweetened applesauce for natural sweetness. Avoid adding sugar, honey, or maple syrup, as these can counteract the blood sugar benefits. And never use artificial sweeteners, which research has shown may actually worsen insulin sensitivity in seniors. Timing matters significantly with this combination, and this is something most people get dangerously wrong. For maximum cardiovascular and glucose-regulating benefits, consuming this heart-supporting breakfast first thing in the morning helps establish proper metabolic patterns for the entire day. The worst thing you can do is skip breakfast entirely, which research has linked to poorer cardiovascular outcomes and reduced metabolic control in seniors. For those who simply cannot eat immediately upon waking, prepare this combination and consume it within 2 to 3 hours of rising. But don't delay longer than that, as the metabolic benefits are significantly reduced later in the day. For those concerned about the time commitment, especially with steel-cut oats, Here are some practical solutions that maintain the health benefits. But remember, these are adaptations to help you get started, not excuses to avoid these critical, heart-saving foods entirely. Prepare larger batches once or twice weekly and refrigerate in single-serving containers. Use a slow cooker or instant pot to prepare steel-cut oats overnight. For travel, carry pre-measured containers of rolled oats, ground flaxseed, and cinnamon to mix with hot water. For true emergencies only, choose plain, unflavored instant oats, not flavored packets, if no other options exist. If you're finding these practical tips helpful, please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up. It really encourages us to keep creating content like this specifically for seniors' health needs that conventional medicine continues to ignore. Now let's wrap up with some final thoughts about implementing this life-saving morning ritual. If you've stayed with me this far, you clearly understand what's at stake. Your cardiovascular health and metabolic stability don't have to continue their dangerous decline. This simple morning bowl of oatmeal, flaxseed, and cinnamon could be the difference between maintaining your independence and quality of life or facing the devastating consequences of heart disease and diabetes. Don't let another day pass without taking this critical step to protect your health. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone you care about who needs this information. Their heart may depend on it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. After that, check out the next video on your screen for more healthy lifestyle tips for seniors.